What if I told you that everything you see, touch, and experience is not separate, but deeply connected? What if the idea that you are an individual, isolated from the universe, is just an illusion? Since ancient times, mystics and philosophers have spoken of a hidden truth, one that science is only beginning to understand. A truth so powerful that once you grasp it, your entire perception of reality will change. This is the law of divine oneness, the understanding that everything in existence is connected, that we are not separate beings, but part of a grand, unified consciousness. Today, we will uncover this hidden wisdom. From ancient spiritual texts to modern quantum physics, we will explore how everything, your thoughts, your actions, and even the universe itself, is deeply intertwined. By the end of this journey, you will see the world with new eyes. You will realize that you are not just a small part of the universe, you are the universe. Let's begin. What if I told you that the boundaries you see between yourself and the world around you don't actually exist? What if the idea of being an individual, separate from others, is nothing more than a trick of the mind? Since the beginning of time, philosophers, mystics, and spiritual seekers have explored these questions. They have searched for the ultimate truth, the one hidden beneath the distractions of daily life, beneath the noise of our thoughts and emotions. And what they found was something extraordinary. They discovered that everything, every star in the sky, every grain of sand on the shore, every living being, every thought, and every breath is connected. That separation is just an illusion created by our limited perception. This realization is known as the Law of Divine Oneness, a fundamental truth that governs not just our world, but the entire universe. According to this law, nothing in existence is truly separate. Every action, every thought, and every emotion ripples through the universe, touching everything else. Like waves in the ocean, what happens to one drop of water influences the whole. This means that you are not just a small part of the universe. You are the universe. This idea is not just a spiritual belief. It is a truth that has been whispered in the teachings of ancient wisdom keepers, encoded in religious texts, and now even confirmed by modern science. And yet, only a few truly understand its power. For millennia, sages and enlightened masters have spoken of a deep and profound unity underlying all things. They knew that what we call reality is not as it seems. They realized that the physical world is merely a reflection of a deeper, unseen connection, one that binds everything together. The ancient Egyptians, the Hindus, the Buddhists, the Taoists, the Sufis, and even early Christian mystics all pointed toward this hidden truth, that we are all part of a greater whole. In Hinduism, this concept is known as Brahman, the ultimate, unchanging reality that exists beyond our senses. In Buddhism, it is the understanding of non-duality, the realization that there is no true separation between you and anything else. Even the Emerald Tablets, attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, speak of this oneness in the famous phrase, "As above, so below, as within, so without." This means that the universe is like a grand mirror. What happens on one level of existence reflects onto every other level. What you think, feel, and do does not just stay within you. It radiates outward, influencing the world in ways you cannot yet see. But despite being one of the most powerful truths known to humanity, the law of divine oneness has remained hidden. Why? Because truly understanding this law would change everything. It would make us question the way we live, the way we think, and the way we treat one another. It would reveal that the barriers we have created between races, religions, and nations are artificial. And perhaps most importantly, it would show us that we have far more power than we have been led to believe. The reason most people struggle to understand the law of divine oneness is simple. Our senses deceive us. Our eyes tell us that we are separate from the trees, the animals, and even other people. Our minds reinforce this belief by creating labels: me and you, us. and them. Society conditions us to think in terms of division, different countries, different classes, different identities. But science now tells us something different. Modern physics has uncovered something fascinating. At the most fundamental level, everything is energy. What we see as solid objects, our bodies, the earth, even the stars, are not really solid at all. They are made of tiny vibrating particles, connected by unseen forces. According to quantum mechanics, particles that were once connected remain connected, even if they are separated by vast distances. This phenomenon, known as quantum entanglement, proves that at a deep level, all things in the universe are linked. This is exactly what ancient spiritual teachings have been telling us for thousands of years. The only thing that stops us from realizing it is our perception. We have been trained to believe in separation. We are taught to focus only on the physical world, ignoring the invisible forces that connect us. But those forces are there, shaping our experiences, guiding our lives, and influencing our destiny. And once you begin to see them, everything changes. If the law of divine oneness is real, what does it mean for you? How does this understanding change the way you live? The answer is simple. Everything you think, say, and do matters more than you realize. Every thought you have sends out energy. Positive thoughts create positive energy, while negative thoughts create negative energy. Your emotions influence the world around you. When you feel love, joy, and gratitude, you are not just affecting yourself, you are sending out vibrations that touch others, even without words. Your actions shape not only your future but the reality of those around you. Every act of kindness spreads far beyond what you can see. Every word of encouragement has the power to lift someone's spirit. The law of divine oneness means that you are never truly alone. It means that everything you experience, every relationship you have, and every challenge you face is connected to something greater. It means that your journey, your joys, your struggles, your victories are part of a grand, cosmic story unfolding across time and space. And perhaps most importantly, it means that you have the power to shape reality. Once you understand this law, you can no longer think of yourself as powerless. You can no longer see yourself as separate from the universe, drifting through life without purpose. Because the truth is, you are the universe experiencing itself. The law of divine oneness is not something you learn. It is something you remember. It is a realization that strikes deep within the soul, a recognition of something you have always known, but somehow forgotten. Every spiritual awakening, every moment of deep meditation, every experience of profound love or connection is a glimpse of this truth. It is the feeling you get when you look up at the night sky and feel an overwhelming sense of belonging. It is the peace that washes over you when you sit by the ocean and listen to the waves. It is the love that fills your heart when you hold a child or when you comfort someone in pain. Because in those moments, you are not just yourself. You are everything. You are the universe, the divine, the infinite, all experiencing life through the unique lens of your soul. This is the law of divine oneness. And once you understand it, you will never see the world the same way again. Since the beginning of human civilization, sages, mystics, and philosophers have spoken about an underlying force that connects everything in existence. This idea of divine oneness has been at the heart of many ancient traditions, from the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus to the wisdom of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism. Across different cultures and eras, humanity has tried to understand this fundamental truth, that all things are connected and nothing truly exists in isolation. Hermes Trismegistus and the Emerald Tablets. One of the earliest recorded explanations of divine oneness comes from the Emerald Tablets, attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, an ancient sage who is believed to be a combination of the Egyptian god Thoth and the Greek god Hermes. The Hermetic philosophy, based on these tablets, states that the universe follows a set of immutable laws, one of the most famous being As above, so below, as within, so without. This means that everything in the universe is connected, and the same patterns that exist in the grand cosmos also exist within us. According to Hermetic wisdom, the entire universe is a mental creation, and all things exist as part of the same consciousness. This belief aligns with modern physics, which now suggests that matter is not truly solid, but rather energy vibrating at different frequencies. Hermes Trismegistus's teachings laid the foundation for what many later philosophies and religions would call universal unity. Buddhist, Hindu, and Taoist perspectives on oneness. Hinduism holds a deep understanding of oneness in the concept of Brahman, the ultimate reality. According to Hindu teachings, all living beings, objects, and elements of existence are just different expressions of Brahman. The Upanishads, ancient Hindu scriptures, describe how the individual soul, Atman, is not separate from Brahman, but a reflection of it. One of the most famous Hindu teachings is the phrase, Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. This means that the essence of the divine is within every being. The idea of Maya, or illusion, suggests that the separation we see in the world is false. Our true nature is oneness. Buddhism also teaches the idea of non-duality. The concept of sunyata, emptiness, in Mahayana Buddhism suggests that nothing exists independently. Everything is interdependent and connected. The famous Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh described this as interbeing, meaning that all things rely on one another for their existence. For example, a tree cannot exist without soil, sunlight, and water. Likewise, a person is not separate from the air they breathe, the food they eat, or the relationships they form. The Buddha taught that realizing this interconnectedness leads to enlightenment. Taoism, an ancient Chinese philosophy, also embraces the idea of oneness. The Tao is described as the ultimate source and principle of everything. In the Tao Te Ching, Laozi states, "The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao." This suggests that the true nature of the universe is beyond human comprehension, but that everything flows within it, harmoniously connected. The Taoist concept of Wu Wei, or effortless action, teaches that when we align ourselves with the natural flow of the universe, we experience peace and harmony. Taoists see the division between self and nature as an illusion, and instead recognize life as a single unified process. Religious and mystical teachings on divine unity. Across religious traditions, there is a recurring message that points toward oneness with the divine. In Christianity, Jesus spoke of this unity when he said, "The kingdom of God is within you." Luke 17:21. This statement suggests that the divine is not an external force, but something that resides within every person. The Gospel of John also emphasizes this unity, where Jesus says, "I and the Father are one." Many mystical interpretations of Jesus' teachings suggest that his message was not about worshiping an external deity, but realizing the divine nature within ourselves and all things. In Sufi mysticism, a branch of Islamic spirituality, the idea of divine oneness is central. The famous Sufi poet Rumi wrote, "You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop." This means that the essence of the divine is present in every soul. Sufis believe in Tawheed, the absolute oneness of God, and see all existence as an expression of this unity. The Jewish Kabbalah, a mystical tradition within Judaism, also speaks of a unified consciousness. The concept of Ein Sof, meaning the infinite, describes how all things emerge from a singular source of divine energy. From these perspectives, it becomes clear that the law of divine oneness is not just a modern idea. It is a universal truth that has been echoed throughout history. While ancient traditions have long spoken of divine unity, modern science is now beginning to validate these ideas through discoveries in quantum physics, energy fields, and consciousness studies. Quantum physics and the unified field theory. One of the most groundbreaking discoveries in quantum mechanics is that everything at the smallest level is energy. Particles do not exist in fixed locations, but rather in a state of probability, meaning that their position is not certain until they are observed. This was demonstrated in the double-slit experiment, where scientists fired electrons through two slits in a barrier. When not observed, the electrons behaved like waves, passing through both slits at once. But when a measuring device was introduced, the electrons acted like particles, choosing one slit to pass through. This revealed something astonishing. Consciousness itself influences reality. This suggests that reality is not separate from the observer. It is connected and influenced by awareness itself. The unified field theory, proposed by Einstein and later explored by physicists like Nassim Haramein, suggests that all forces in the universe originate from one single field of energy. According to this theory, everything, from galaxies to subatomic particles, is part of the same universal consciousness. The observer effect and consciousness. One of the most mysterious aspects of quantum physics is the observer effect, the idea that the act of observation changes the behavior of particles. This aligns with what ancient spiritual traditions have said for centuries. Your thoughts and awareness shape reality. This also suggests that our minds are not separate from the universe, but deeply connected to it. If observation changes reality at a quantum level, it means that consciousness plays a fundamental role in the universe itself. Since the beginning of human existence, we have been conditioned to believe in separation. We see ourselves as individuals, distinct from others, moving through life in our own personal experiences. We define ourselves by our names, our roles, our achievements, and our relationships. But what if this perception of separation is nothing more than an illusion? Why do we feel separate? The feeling of separation stems from ego and identity, two fundamental aspects of the human mind that shape our perception of the world. Ego and identity, how the mind tricks us. The ego is the part of us that defines who we are. It tells us, this is me and that is you. It builds a sense of identity through past experiences, cultural conditioning, and personal beliefs. While the ego helps us function in society, it also traps us in the illusion of individuality. From childhood, we are taught to see ourselves as distinct from everything around us. We are given names, labels, and roles. We are told, this is your family, this is your country, this is your religion. Slowly, these labels shape our reality, and we begin to believe that we are separate from others. But deep within, we are something far greater than a name or identity. We are consciousness itself, a part of the divine energy that connects all things. The illusion of the physical world, the concept of Maya. In Hindu philosophy, there is a term called Maya, the great illusion. Maya is the idea that the physical world we see is not the ultimate reality, but rather a temporary, ever-changing projection of a deeper, unseen truth. Think about a dream. When you are inside a dream, it feels real. You see people, places, and events unfold before you. But when you wake up, you realize it was all an illusion, something created by your mind. Similarly, spiritual traditions teach that the material world is like a dream, and true reality is far beyond what we perceive with our senses. Everything we see, touch, and experience is just energy vibrating at different frequencies. The true essence of existence is pure consciousness, an interconnected field where everything is one. Modern society's role in separation. The illusion of separation is not just an accident. It has been reinforced by social conditioning, competition, and the false idea of individuality. Social conditioning and competition. From a young age, we are trained to compete. Schools rank students, businesses compete for profit, and nations battle for power. The idea of survival of the fittest has made us believe that we must always be better than others to succeed. But this mindset goes against the fundamental truth of oneness. Instead of seeing ourselves as part of a collective whole, we see others as rivals. We build walls, divide ourselves into groups, and forget that at our core, we are all the same. Society also conditions us to believe that our worth is based on external achievements, how much money we make, what job we have, or how others perceive us. But these are all illusions. The real value of a human being lies not in external success, but in their connection to the universe and to each other. The illusion of individuality. In today's world, technology has given us the power to connect instantly with anyone, yet people feel more disconnected than ever. Depression, anxiety, and loneliness have become widespread because people feel separate from others. But the truth is, you are never alone. The air you breathe, the sun that warms you, and the earth beneath your feet are all connected to you. The separation you feel is not real. It is a creation of the mind. And once you understand this, everything changes. The realization of oneness does not just change how you see the world, it transforms every aspect of your life. From your thoughts and emotions to your relationships and health, the understanding that everything is connected has profound effects. Your thoughts shape reality. One of the most powerful truths of divine oneness is that your thoughts send ripples into the universe. Every idea, every emotion, and every intention carries energy that affects not only you, but the world around you. The law of attraction and manifestation. The law of attraction states that like attracts like. The energy you put into the universe is the energy you receive back. If you think positively, you attract positive experiences. If you focus on fear, you attract negativity. This is not just a spiritual belief, but a concept supported by quantum physics, where observation influences reality. Scientists have discovered that energy responds to human consciousness, meaning that what you focus on literally shapes the world around you. By understanding that you are not separate from the universe, but a co-creator of reality, you can begin to manifest the life you truly desire. Relationships and empathy. When you hurt someone, you are not just hurting them, you are hurting yourself. This is because the pain you cause in others comes back to you. Since we are all connected, any harm we do to another person is like harming our own reflection. On the other hand, when you show love and kindness, that energy returns to you. Compassion and empathy elevate your consciousness, bringing you into alignment with higher frequencies. Healing and energy work. Since everything is connected, healing does not just happen at the physical level, it happens at the energetic level. Reiki, meditation, and vibrational healing techniques like Reiki, meditation, and sound healing work by aligning the body's energy field with the greater universal energy. These practices help remove blockages, restore balance, and raise one's vibration. When we raise our frequency, we become healthier, happier, and more in tune with the divine oneness that surrounds us. Understanding oneness is one thing, experiencing it is another. Here are some practical techniques to align yourself with the universal flow. Meditation and stillness. The easiest way to experience oneness is through meditation. By quieting the mind, you can go beyond thoughts and experience the infinite space of pure consciousness. In deep meditation, people often feel a sense of unity with all things. The boundaries of the self dissolve, and only awareness remains. Deep breathing practices. Breath is the bridge between body and spirit. Conscious breathing techniques like pranayama in yoga help activate energy centers in the body and connect us with universal life force energy. Shifting your perspective. You can train your mind to see oneness in daily life by using daily affirmations. I am connected to everything in existence. Practicing gratitude, recognizing how the universe supports you, seeing beyond appearances, looking past labels and divisions, letting go of fear and control. The final step in experiencing oneness is surrendering to the flow of the universe. When we try to control everything, we resist the natural rhythm of life. But when we let go, we align ourselves with divine intelligence, allowing life to unfold in perfect harmony. At the heart of this teaching lies a single, powerful truth. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Realizing divine oneness is not just about understanding it intellectually, it is about living it. Every day you have a choice: to see the world as separate and divided, or to see it as connected and whole. The moment you start living in oneness, everything changes. Fear disappears, love becomes your guiding force, and life flows effortlessly. Because you are not just part of the universe, you are the universe. Now, it is time to awaken.